Bitter, game number 2 going to be taking place on Antigua Shipyard.
That is
manly
correct.
Fist and finger poke.
There are few things more manly than casting StarCraft 2.
Very, very few. Among them being a lumberjack.
We're gonna that tickles my funny bone, Mr. Bitter.
I'm glad.
Wow, I didn't realize we were going to be talking about such manly things when we came back. I would have been prepared for a retort. I would have been like, oh, yeah, the only thing more manly than that is sweats and
tears
and hair. Let's go ahead and hop into game number 2 between ThorZaIN and Naama. Ladies and gents, are you ready?
Oh, what am I doing drinking tea on camera?
Oh, that is such a sin. That is so unmanly. It's going to be on Antigua Shipyard, and ordinarily we'd call this a long-term slow macro map because of the distances between the bases, but interestingly, your main is very exposed, and we saw ThorZaIN exploit that in the previous match.
Yes, indeed. So here we go, guys. Up in the top left-hand corner of the map, the hometown hero, the Swede, it is Mouse Sports ThorZaIN.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, the king of the reactors. Can he make a comeback here? It is Naama.
Reactor King.
Well, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I mean, he is. He just keeps building reactors.
Reactored factories, reactored barracks, reactored starports.
But it's so interesting to me is he's getting 2, sometimes 3 reactors before getting his first tech lab. So he has tons and tons and tons of those basic tier 1 units with no upgrades on them. It allows him to be aggressive, but again, it's that committal aggression. I mean, Koss is really good at the sort of aggression that involves the units he's getting anyways. Marines, tanks, medevacs. Even if he loses the army, he's going to be rebuilding that exact same force again. Naama kind of has the unit composition you got to commit hard to. If he's getting a lot of Hellions and then he wants to transition into Marine tank, those Hellions are not going to be useful in the mid game. He has to do damage with them.
Right, you are, Day 9. 11 gas, 13 barracks for Naama. What in the world could this be? My first inclination is going to say this is almost certainly a Banshee opening.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah. What up? Banshee, maybe Blue Flame Hellion drop.
Yeah, Blue Flame Hellion drop is always a possibility. Ultra fast cloak Banshee. I would not be surprised though if Naama, as king of the reactors,
it's like 15 reactor barracks with the fast gas.
Yeah, he has one geyser quickly to make sure he can afford all those 50 gas reactors. Well, I would not be surprised to see him plop down a factory and then immediately go for double Hellion. Because you can get the Hellions up so fast, and because they're such swift units, you can easily cross map, start putting pressure at the front of that wall in, and it means that ThorZaIN is going to have a little bit of a struggle defense, because ThorZaIN, if he builds his own reactor on the barracks, it's a long time of no Marines being built. You generally will have 2 Hellions by the time your opponent only has 4 to 6 Marines.
Yeah, Naama's doing some weird stuff with this gas. He took very, very fast gas, mine 100, then came off gas, started a factory, and then went back on gas. Does this speak to indecision, or is this a very well-prepared build?
Here comes Reactor King. The Reactor King. Build the reactor. Reactor King. Bam.
Bam. Reactor King Prime.
Shazam. Now it looks like ThorZaIN is going to be heading through the middle of the map with a couple of those Marines. Interestingly, ThorZaIN is going for that early expand play, and this is going to play so into Naama's strengths. Due to this early second refinery, I would absolutely give a Banshee transition as the one play that Naama's going to do. There is no other reason you would try to be getting this much stuff.
Yeah, lots of gas being brought in by Naama. We can see that single Hellion is going to pop out, and then I would imagine we're going to see a swap on the barracks. And the Day 9, there's a proxied starport.
Proxy starport, man. Banshee, double Hellion, very effective play. And especially, I think Naama will be getting some sort of cloak as part of that transition.
Day 9, I'm not sure that ThorZaIN's going to be able to defend this. He's gone for the gasless fast expand into a quick 2 gas. He's going to have 3 barracks, but Banshees are not bad against Marines when controlled properly. Hellions are obviously excellent against Marines, and I think all ThorZaIN can really build is going to be Marines.
I do think this was an enormous blunder by Naama to reveal this one single lone. Oh my God, I hope your face enjoyed that giant metal building.
I wish Hellions could crash. That'd be so hilarious.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And then they could do what I did and take photos of their broken ankle and send them up on Facebook. Did I ever tell you about that?
I know.
Oh, I was having so much fun. I was doing this bumper go-kart racing thing, and it was being filmed.
This sounds like a painful story.
Yeah, and then I was trying to swerve around the girl I was racing against, and instead she crashed into me, and I flew off course and went directly into a wall at 40 miles an hour. And the first thing I did, as I was having giant pain throughout my whole body, is pull out my phone and take a photo. And upload it to Twitter.
Man.
I was like, I might have to go to the hospital.
Look how badass I am.
Check out my ankle in HD.
That's amazing. We will be seeing some cloaked Banshees. First Banshee is about to pop out. Second Banshee already queued up. More Hellions being rallied down the map here for Naama. And will ThorZaIN be able to deal with this? He doesn't have anything in his main right now. There's no eBay. eBay's building.
ThorZaIN has managed to get himself up a lot of add-ons, and now it looks like Naama, again, the king of reactors, has 2 reactors and only 3 unit-producing structures. He's going to pop right into the back of the main, and there's going to have to be some big decisions by ThorZaIN. I mean, if ThorZaIN can hold this off, he will have himself a quick victory in this TVT, but Naama is really forcing the issue, doing a huge push.
Oh yeah, total multi-prong aggression here. Marines are going to come up and try to deal with this Banshee, but then he will no, he's going to run away before he reveals the cloak. Here come the Hellions in through the front door, though, and I really think the best thing Naama can do here is just lift up, consolidate in the main base, and stabilize that way, because these SCVs are in trouble, Sean.
Oh my God, he doesn't even need to line them up. He just needs to 1A his way into the base.
1A his way into the base.
And there it looks like, oh no, he doesn't lift up in time, and Naama misclicks hard. He does have the cloaked Banshee. Most of the Hellions are down. Banshee's continuing to stream on in. Naama forcing this game to be a quick, narrow defense.
So many workers have already died. Naama is working on 19 worker kills. What? 16 SCVs for ThorZaIN, 25 for Naama, who is securing his natural and is going to be well ahead as these players transition into the mid-game.
Naama managed to find an extra 400 minerals, plopped himself down and expand hatchery, or hell, even an expand command center, as this player is not playing Zerg, Mr. Bitter.
It'd be so cool if Terrans could drop a hatchery.
That would be the reverse infested hatchery expand.
Oh man, infested Terrans from Brood War. Those were good.
Those were really good. Anyone remember Brood War infested Terrans? Ooh. That's right, 500 damage a hit.
And they moved at like the speed of Queens off creep in StarCraft 2.
Oh God, it was so wonderful. You put them into Overlords, like having little Zerg Reavers.
Yeah, the original Baneling drop. Naama continuing to pour off the pressure here. It's going to be Hellions and Banshees against Marauders, and Marauders can't shoot up. This might just be GG, Sean.
We don't see any stim from ThorZaIN. It looks like Naama flaunting his cloak. Doesn't actually need to use that cloak. We see stim just now beginning, but that will get picked off, and there's just not that much that ThorZaIN can do about it.
No, indeed not. eBay is done. There's a couple turrets up, but they're not in positions that actually help here. Trying to get a bunker up is ThorZaIN, but even if that completes, I don't know that it's going to matter too much. These Banshees just have too much mobility. They're just doing too much damage. ThorZaIN doing a surprisingly good job of producing SCVs. He's still 25 SCVs to 28, so his economy not that far behind Naama's.
It does take now 3 Banshee shots to kill off one of those Marines, and man, Naama really committing to this. I do think ThorZaIN should begin making a starport instead of just dedicating only to these Marines.
Yeah,
that
Viking would be nice.
Easily repel the remainder of these Banshees. And I mean, if you go to the unit counting station, though, it's 7 Hellions, and it looks like just a couple of Banshees, and there's the cloak. Naama, ooh, starting to lose some of those Banshees.
Overextending a bit there, in my opinion, but you know, day 9. With that last engagement, I think ThorZaIN's kind of okay. Supplies 54 to 59. Worker tab shows us that ThorZaIN's 2 workers behind. Incomes are very close. This game is far from over.
I mean, this is again the problem with this sort of ultra commitment aggression from Naama. Banshees are really not that useful in the mid game against a giant Marine medevac army with stim.
Yes.
By the same token, I mean, Hellions, not very useful in that sort of situation. Only just now is Naama starting to get these tech labs and get other structures up. ThorZaIN, on the other hand, is already en route with his stim. Look at that, 25 Marines, just needs to finish stim, and then all of a sudden Naama will be in a lot of trouble. We see there is the reactor on the star. he's going to be going reactor medevacs, and this counter swing by ThorZaIN is going to be brutal for Naama to deal with.
Naama's macro is just so sloppy. He's been supply blocked for like 30 seconds, now throwing down 3 depots at once. He's got multiple units queued up at every production facility. Not the cleanest transitions here in the mid game, and ThorZaIN is just getting better and better as this game drags on.
Well, ThorZaIN is just not dropping the ball at all with that macro. Oh, the Banshees did not see the Marines coming from the top side. Hellions doing some very nice roasting, but will he lose another Banshee? He is losing a lot here. And this swap is the big momentum changer in the game. Once those medevacs begin popping out, he can just fly from A to B, and there's just not that much that Naama can do about it.
Indeed not. Naama is going to take a third base. This is kind of how I expand. Supply blocked for 5 minutes, take another base.
And of course, is a very common technique employed by pretty much everyone except Grandmasters. How are you expanding now? It's my little secret, buddy. You enjoy that gold star.
Yes, indeed. Hellions and Marines parked in the center of the map here for Naama. Supplies still very, very close. Naama slightly ahead, 91 to 86. He's also 4 workers up, so these armies are virtually the same size. And we can see it there on the army value tab. Very, very close.
Uh-oh. Banshee's popping up into the main. They do manage to get a reactor down, but with a nicely timed retreat.
Yep. Now Naama, one thing that's really been going his way is he's been able to delay this stem upgrade for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's been absolutely pivotal.
And that's allowed these Banshees to continue to be relevant for a little bit longer than they would have been otherwise. But finally, we do see this stem upgrade finishing up. It'll be done in about 30 seconds. Ooh, this is a pretty big push coming from the front here for Naama. Does he have stem? Yes, he does. Yeah. Oh, day 9.
Ooh, this could be dangerous. Oh, brilliant maneuver. The empty medevac.
Wow.
Snatching up some health from all of those units. Oh no, oh no, oh no, the tech
lab.
Not
the tech lab.
He gets it.
Oh, wow. Poor ThorZaIN just cannot get stem.
ThorZaIN just move this barracks. For God's sake, put it here, surround it with turrets.
Build one more turret.
I would even be willing to build a command center and just float it over the tech lab so we couldn't see it to target fire.
Anything but
You'd have to do something like this and like zoom in to target it with the Banshees.
And now we've got 3 more minutes before ThorZaIN will have stem, and that means 3 more minutes before ThorZaIN's really able to make a push. You don't want to be pushing out on the map without stem against Hellions, Banshees, and Marines.
ThorZaIN's doing the smart thing, though. He's building up momentum. He's going to be getting these upgrades. Look at that. The instant that armory finished, the +2 began. ThorZaIN knows exactly where his advantage needs to lie. If we come down to Naama's base, we see 0-0 upgrades. Does he even have any engineering bays? None at all.
He's getting +1 infantry weapon. No, he's got 2 upgrades.
He has 2 engineering bays hidden. Where on earth? Ooh, that's a very vulnerable location for those 2 engineering bays.
Over at the 3rd. Yes, indeed. ThorZaIN got a little bit of a drop down here in the bottom of the map, and Naama is, he's defending with, or he's attacking with his whole army. There's not really much back at home in the way of defense. So this drop could be really scary. ThorZaIN does manage to find the starport here, and I think, I don't know, it'll get cleaned up by those Hellions.
We have the Banshees just showing up to reveal themselves a little bit.
Yeah. You better not unload Marines, because they will shoot Banshee shots at them.
Naama having some good map awareness. Be really careful.
Oh, nice stem in the middle.
Did not end up going in ThorZaIN's favor.
No, not at all. And Naama's starting to pull a bit ahead here in the supplies. He's been on 3 bases for some time, and it is showing up in the macro. 144 supply for Naama, 120 for ThorZaIN. Again, the upgrades are better for ThorZaIN, certainly. He's working on 2-2. He's also got vehicle weapons on the way. Just constantly trying to drop this starport. Really wants to take it out of the equation.
But the funny thing is that with no stem, he just has to slowly, begrudgingly fire.
It's like 15 BB guns being shot at the starport.
It's like in Company of Heroes with riflemen against tanks. They don't actually do damage.
Yes, like a single Zergling trying to fight a Marauder under a medevac.
It's like a lot of things that just don't do much.
3rd base finally does fall here, or go down here for ThorZaIN. Scans that Banshee and does knock it out, so that's a small victory for ThorZaIN. Naama has still got so much map control.
Oh, ThorZaIN's just done a huge, Naama's done a huge drop in the main of ThorZaIN, and it looks like, oh, the medevacs!
Those medevacs are not going to do anything. Oh, not good at all. Stem finally done for ThorZaIN. He's running back with his whole army, but he's got the conga line.
Oh, God, he has the worst concave of all time.
Oh, and Naama does lift up and get out of there. Somehow, ThorZaIN managing to not just die outright. A couple medevacs will fall. At the same time as all that, the Banshees were going and doing some work on the 3rd base, but it looks like ThorZaIN managed to deal with that also.
A little bit of target firing action on that command center. All those Hellions drop down to rubble. We do see the scan,
nice.
and he
Very
picks
nice.
off both
Wow.
of them. Oh, youch, that's not good news. We do see the clear lead in the Marine count for Naama. He has 39 Marines to 30, but look at those upgrades. 2-2 done now for ThorZaIN. If he can remain focused, he can start those 3-3 upgrades and have an enormous lead. And there it is, 3-3 upgrades down for ThorZaIN.
One more time at the starport. ThorZaIN will finally clean it up now that Stim is done. And even having a decent position on top of these Marines is going to pick up quite a few of those as well. So supplies still favoring Naama 122 to 100. ThorZaIN's going to push out into the center of the map, and I'm not sure I agree with this choice.
Well, it looks like he's trying to get some kind of momentum, but he's going to the watchtower where there is a tank there to greet him. Got to pick that one off or pull back. He needs to make a decision. That indecisive movement with those Marines cost him so many. You have to know exactly what you want to do in that kind of engagement, else you just end up tossing tons of Marines away.
Indeed, ThorZaIN sticking around as best he can. He's got all of his production facilities rallied right up to this forward position in the middle of the map. Naama wants to drop again? No, he's going to stim and come down and attack from above. One siege tank will fall immediately, Day 9.
But that is a terrible angle for Naama. Looks like ThorZaIN might have a little bit of an opportunity, but there's the reinforcement. He picks off the tank, continues to attack. But the upgrade lead for ThorZaIN is helping him out so much, but he cannot deal with the overwhelming numbers of his opponent's army.
Yeah, just too many Marines there for Naama. Loads up 8 of them, and he's going to go drop in the main base of ThorZaIN. But ThorZaIN looks like he might be ready. Sensor tower in position. Marines are there as well. There's the stim.
And he gets it down.
Nice defense. Very, very nice defense. SCV even aiding in the attacking there. A little drill attack on the old Space Marines. Supplies still favoring Naama, and he is securing a 4th base. That is a really big boon for Naama. ThorZaIN building his 4th command center as well. Where is he going to expand to? Like, is it possible that we'll see 2 center map expansions, like attacking each other?
I wouldn't be surprised to see him just try to sneak an expansion down at bottom left. ThorZaIN does not really have much of a leg to stand on. He needs to get those 3-3 upgrades finished, and then he can actually begin making perhaps a little bit of headway. But I think ThorZaIN actually does have to play passively for quite some time. He has a lot of barracks, a lot of factories up at the front. Naama, with a little bit of sloppy building placement, still maintains a big lead in that production structure count.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's 30 supply up. He's going to continue dropping. ThorZaIN still with decent position with these Marines. He's all over these drops, but now Naama going to just cover the drop from the low ground as he unloads up here on the high ground. And ThorZaIN, how is he going to deal with this?
Oh, it looks like he's just going to stim and bum rush it from all sides. We have Marines coming from below, above. Oh, it looks like Naama loads up a very nice retreat. He loses 1 medevac, but it is not a full one by any means.
ThorZaIN defending oh so well. I'm very impressed at his ability to stick around here. Naama going to go ahead and take another base down in the bottom left-hand corner of our screen.
A little bit of an odd decision, but still.
This is hilarious. We are going to have 2 bases in the middle of the map, and these guys are just going to be, you know, basically fighting for control of the center.
Now, Naama has been the giganto aggressor, which means that ThorZaIN does have a little bit of that defender's advantage, but how do you position yourself as ThorZaIN in this spot? It looks like ThorZaIN might just go for it.
Oh, and he is going to go for it. I don't know if this is the best move. Tanks do siege up. Will the tanks be able to do enough damage? Naama spreading out his Marines pretty nicely, and ThorZaIN impressively knocking it down for the first time in the game. ThorZaIN with a supply lead. And
it looks like ThorZaIN continuing to advance forward. Those 3-3 Marines do end up evaporating, and oh no, Naama may have just isolated these 3 siege tanks. ThorZaIN needs to throw down another scan, and he does get that siege tank up on the high ground. These players are just wailing on each other. ThorZaIN with the superior medevac count, hoping to stay alive a little bit longer.
Such a close fight in the center of the map, Day 9. ThorZaIN is just going to give up that 1 siege tank. His medevac should probably be repositioned. He's making a planetary right in front of a siege tank. This is a hilarious exchange.
ThorZaIN needs to begin getting a little bit more headway here. It does look like Naama does not have the 3-3 upgrades. And he does manage to take out the tank.
Yep. Naama still has that high ground control, though. It's going to be cool. Oh, losing a siege tank is ThorZaIN, and just as he transfers these SCVs, Naama getting a very strong position.
ThorZaIN's macro and positioning is really helping him. ThorZaIN's ability to keep his army focused in one place, doing one thing in unison, is allowing him to continue to step forward in this game, but Naama has such good macro, always maintaining the superior Marine count. Those tanks need to step a little bit farther forward. If he can have his tanks reinforcing this planetary, then ThorZaIN will step ahead.
So impressed with Naama's just very, very patiently expanding everywhere at once, securing more bases, saying, I know I'm in the lead, I just have to maintain this economic edge. These guys have been toe-to-toe. It's been non-stop action for the entire 26 minutes of this game, Day 9.
Oh, that one siege tank up on the high ground, 16 kills, racking up more and more as ThorZaIN does desperately need to get some sort of army up to crush this small force up in the center, but Naama is rallied there. A lot of units coming up. ThorZaIN needs to make a move now.
Yeah, ThorZaIN very aggressively advancing forward with those siege tanks. Can he take the center of the map? This could be a really big win for ThorZaIN if he can. Where are his reinforcing Marines? Here we go. About 11 Marines streaming down here for ThorZaIN. And if he can take out these 2 siege tanks, he's going to get a really important position up in the middle of this map.
And we see the siege tanks now starting to increase in number for Naama. Oh, he tries to step forward. He gets one. He does not get the other one by the center watchtower. And it looks like Naama is getting an incredible, incredible lead in the mid-map.
Indeed, Naama does manage to stem forward and kill one more tank. Looks like he's going to get a second tank with just one hero Marine. No, that one does fall. But as you said, Nama's pumping out a ton of tanks right now. This is really what he needs to lock up this game.
ThorZaIN has no ability to continue to macro. These Marines step forward. ThorZaIN, who is teetering on the verge of gaining the lead, unable to. Just look at the endless Congo line of Marines popping out. 11 to 15 Marines being made at all points in time for the blue Terran player.
Really beautiful game here by Naama. He's made only a few small mistakes, and outside of those, he's played an excellent, excellent game. Non-stop aggression from Naama. This has been so impressive to watch.
Now we see another nice push over at the vulnerable left base. Naama in a dominating position. ThorZaIN with the quick win in game 2. Naama with the methodical win here.
Yes, indeed. Naama just kind of pushing over. He's going to knock out this reactor and try to go to work on some of these SCVs. He's got to be very wary of that planetary. At the same time, he's going to push ThorZaIN's base at the top right-hand corner of the map. In doing this, he is effectively denying all of ThorZaIN's mining, which means ThorZaIN's got only about 100 minerals with which to macro up some sort of new force.
It's a big decision to make. A pair of Marines, 1 medevac. ThorZaIN does manage to resecure a single expansion, but Naama is now maxed and has so many units in mid.
Oh yeah, Naama's position is just getting better and better and better. Maxed out against 91 supplies. He's looking very, very grim for ThorZaIN.
No, Naama knows that when he has this much of a lead, the best tactic is just to go straight for the jugular. He's going to stop messing around. He's going to stop denying expansions. He is just going to hit ThorZaIN in the heart, and there will be almost nothing that ThorZaIN can do about it. He is unable to produce tanks anywhere except on this low ground.
Right you are, Day 9.
There's the good game.
Yep, ThorZaIN knows it, taps out. What a game there by Naama. Excellent play.